Last weekend, we did a masterclass about branding, and it was called Reset Your Branding and Website. It was amazing. Hundreds of travel agents, advisors, and agency owners showed up because they just knew, they just knew inside that their branding and or their website wasn't cutting it. And the masterclass was incredible. The feedback we got was amazing. The testimonials and the reviews and all the things. But do you know what else we got? We got the same question over and over and over again. And that question I'm going to answer today for all of you. The question is, what is the difference between traffic and conversion? And how do I know if I have a traffic problem or a conversion problem, especially if I like my website? And oh my goodness, am I so glad to hear this question? I had no idea that it was weighing on people. And today you are going to get clarity on whether or not you have a traffic problem, a conversion problem, or both, and what to do about it. Hey there, if you are currently living paycheck to paycheck in your travel business because you don't know where your next client is going to come from, you likely have one of two problems, maybe even both, a traffic problem and a conversion problem. You see, a traffic problem refers to the amount of people coming to your website to learn more about working with you, which means that the conversion problem is when your website isn't turning your website visitors into email subscribers, appointments, or paying clients. If you have a traffic and or conversion problem, your travel business is not going to survive. And that's not okay. And guess who is very much to blame? Your website. You see, a high converting website in the travel industry should be turning website visitors into paying clients with ease. If your website is not doing that, it is failing you. But there is a solution. Introducing Website in a Weekend, a transformative 2-day virtual workshop tailor-made for travel professionals just like you. Arrive with nothing, leave with a breathtaking, high-converting website. Yep, just in a weekend. You'll equip yourself with a crystal clear core message, a stunning visual brand, content crafted with high converting frameworks, and so much more. Early bird alert! Sign up by September 20th and get your website copy written for you by my team. Plus, I will personally pick, pay for, and place premium images on your website. Dates, mark your calendar, October 27th and 28th. Y'all, October 28th is my wedding anniversary. Show up. I'll be there for you. It'll literally change your business. Still unsure? Just ask Lisa. She transformed her website from meh into magnificent. And she says it was worth every penny. My site now speaks to those that I want to work with. I highly recommend it. Or ask Patty, who says, all thanks to you and your team, Sandra, I get so many compliments and new clients. I'm actually having a hard time keeping up with all the new bookings. So why wait? Elevate your online presence, attract ideal clients, and say goodbye to your website woes. Ready to soar? Join Website in a Weekend and let's make magic together. Head over to travelmarketingandmedia.com/website to learn more and book your spot. That's travelmarketingandmedia.com/website. I'll see you there. So let's jump in. There are two types of problems that you can have when it comes to branding and website and marketing and sales. One of them is a traffic problem, and the other is a conversion problem. It's possible that you have one, but it's also very possible that you have both. So let's start with a traffic problem. What is traffic? Well, in its day-to-day definition, traffic is a congestion, or it's a large quantity or a busy or heavy quantity of people in cars, by foot, or just moving in a crowd. And traffic is something that on a day-to-day basis we don't love. Trust me, I live in Los Angeles, the city where we call freeways the 5, the 405, the 110. And it's one of the few places on the planet that I know of that when people ask you, how far is Long Beach to Hollywood, we never say it's about an hour or it's a 30-minute drive because that doesn't exist here. When somebody asks us how long is it from Long Beach to Hollywood, we say, at what time of day? That's the first question we ask back, and then we quantify what time of day because it could be a 2.5 hour drive. It could also be a 40-minute drive. Or we say it's around 15 miles. And people from Los Angeles or who have lived here, Angelinos who have lived here long enough, will know that that is light, no traffic, and then they should add traffic if they're leaving before 10 a.m. or driving after 3 p.m. I know it's crazy. So traffic is not something that you would usually want. But when it comes to a business, whether you're a bricks and mortar who wants foot traffic or you're an online business that wants virtual traffic, every business wants and needs traffic. Because if you do not have people coming into your store, entering through the doors, or onto your website, then you have nobody to sell to. You ever drive past or walk past restaurants and you look inside and you can see the cook standing there and the hostess or the server standing there and there's nobody eating? And you think to yourself, oh gosh, how do they afford the rent here? We feel the same when I always feel the same like when I see clothing stores and it's just that one girl standing behind the counter and there's no one in there. And you walk in and she's like, hi, can I help you? Anthony always gives me this look like, please don't let your face say anything rude. But on my face, it's too late. And I'm thinking, get away. No, I don't respond well to that. Because she comes with fear and with desperation because I'm the only person that's walked into the store in ages. And even if you have a virtual business, I remember when I was starting my virtual business, my online business, that I remember that my first inquiry that came through and I just wanted to respond to her at 11 o'clock at night when she sent it. And Anthony asked me, he's like, what are you doing? I said, I got an inquiry. And he said, okay, just do it in the morning. No, it's my only one that I've got. People smell fear and desperation and you don't want to have it, but you do want to have a lot of traffic. So here's how you know if your traffic is good enough. And the good thing is, learning whether or not today you have a traffic or a conversion problem doesn't need any feelings or any emotions. You're going to use numbers. So to find out if you have a traffic problem, you need to go to Google Analytics, log in, and have a look at how many visitors are coming to your website every month. Now, you'll get two numbers. You'll get a number for returning visitors and a number for new visitors. It's new visitors that I want to see because that is traffic. Okay. So you'll also find other interesting stats on there, like where they're coming from. Maybe they're coming from social media. Maybe they're coming from an ad. Maybe they're coming from another link on another website, from your podcast. Who knows? And it matters because that'll tell you to do more of something and quit doing other things. But most importantly, you want to see how many people are coming through your website that is new. Now, in order to get these numbers from Google Analytics, you have to have set up a Google Analytics account. They give you something called a UA number, which I always looked at as like United Airlines number. That's how you remember it moving forward, but it's not United Airlines. And you put that number into your website, usually into the settings of your website somewhere. And that allows your website to talk to Google Analytics and vice versa. So all of the data flows, and then you have data points that you can grab. Now, here's the thing. If you did not have a website designer who knows about sales and traffic and conversion, they probably didn't even tell you to do that, which means you can start doing it now. Go ahead, sign up for an analytics account. They're free, but you're not going to have any data to pull from. So if you do have data, here's what the question is going to be. What is your average weekly traffic to your website? And say, for example, you have 200 visitors or 2,000 visitors, it doesn't really matter. But if you have 200 visitors, I want you to ask yourself, am I happy with that? Am I happy with 200 people coming to my website every week? Do I want 10,000 people coming to my website? Do I want 15,000 people coming to my website? And your website traffic, when you're looking at it week to week to week, I also want you to have a look at 2023. Okay, or this year if you're listening to it in 2024 or whatever the year is, but your most recent year that you're in right now. And I want you to look at the numbers and ask yourself, is this also going up? Is it steady and is it increasing? So it's not the average weekly traffic in terms of, well, some weeks I had 300 and other weeks I had two people, because that's not good. You want consistent flowing traffic. So I really want you to make a note there, not just what your average weekly is, but is it consistent across the year, or does it peak and dive? So that's going to tell you if you need to put more effort into traffic. And traffic is all about promotion. Traffic is about putting yourself out there. It's about putting yourself out in places, advertising and promoting in places where your ideal client is going to see you. And there are lots of different things you can do. You can run Facebook ads, you can run Pinterest ads, you can post on Pinterest, you can have a Google My Business account, you can do bridal shows, you can do travel expos. There's so many different things. You can do media, you can be on the news, you can have a podcast that drives traffic to your website. Of course, then you'd have to drive traffic to your podcast. But that being said, you can have a Facebook group where you collect people's email addresses. But that being said, you have to have a strategy in order to have actual traffic. That is the most important thing. You've got to have a strategy in order to have traffic. So that means that when you pull your numbers, just bear that in mind. You might look at your numbers and think this is okay, or you might look at your numbers and think this is the worst. But always ask yourself, what was my strategy? What was I actually doing to put myself out there? Now let's talk about conversion. Here's how I can tell you if you have a conversion problem. And I will tell you if promotions and advertising is to blame for your traffic, your website is to blame for your conversion, nothing else. Only your website. Because the 100% job of your website, the only single job that your website has, is to convert visitors into email subscribers or appointments or phone calls. Any less than that means that your website is failing you. I don't care how cute your website is. I saw a website designer today who dabbles in the travel industry. They haven't worked in the travel industry before, and that's very evident to me. Today, they sent out an email with 6 new designs that they've just released for their clients, and they're all travel advisors, and the websites are stunning. They're absolutely stunning. Here's the problem. I know one of the people that just got their new website a couple of months back, and that website has 0 conversion, but it has a lot of traffic going to it. And the reason for that is I want you to think about it this way. Website designers usually are either educated website designers, they have qualifications, certifications, and education, or have a great eye for design and are self taught. Nothing is wrong with either of those. I am a designer that has a great eye and I'm self taught over the years. I have a lot of experience and I've studied consumer behavior in marketing. So I have some certifications, but I don't have designer certifications. That being said, I have expertise and experience and proven results in sales and marketing that make me more conversion minded than a designer. So, a designer's job is to design a beautiful website that has a beautiful experience. They call it a user experience for the person visiting the website. But if they do not have a marketing bone in their body, if they do not have a sales bone in their body, if they do not ask you questions about conversion goals and percentages and new traffic and where you want your traffic to come from and who is your ideal client traffic wise, if they're not asking you what your goals are for your website, if they're not asking you, do you have a lead magnet? Right. How long have you had that lead magnet? Have you had it tested? No. Are you doing a weekly email? Great. Let's create somewhere for people to sign up for it. How many people are you getting right now to your email and to your email list? And after your website is launched, if you're not seeing the same number come through, then you have a conversion problem. Here's another way that you know that you have a conversion problem. That if you have 200 people or 2,000 people, it doesn't matter, coming to your website every single week, but your email list is not growing, then you have a conversion problem. I personally would be very disappointed if I had 200 people coming to my website every week and I was only getting 1 or 2 emails signups on my email list, because that is an abysmal conversion rate. 200 people came to your website and you got 2 email subscribers. Now, there's not a magical percentage that's like, this is good, this is not good. If I had 200 people come to my website and I got 100 email subscribers, even then I'm going to be disappointed, because listen, I'm the one sending the traffic to the website. I'm the one paying the Facebook ads, the Pinterest ads, going to events, co-hosting podcasts, putting out doing webinars, putting myself out there. And if I'm putting myself out there and I'm putting myself in front of who I know is my ideal client, and 50% or less of them who, after visiting my website, still didn't think I was right for them, that's a problem. That's a problem, because you went out and put the effort into traffic, got the traffic to your website, and then your website failed you. So, lesson of the day. This is a shorty podcast episode today, but I'm here to preach and to get it into your head. You have to become obsessed. As travel agents, advisors, and agency owners, you have to become obsessed with your traffic numbers and your conversion numbers. Listen, that's why we have an annual event called the Traffic and Conversion Experience. It is 100% focused on traffic and conversion. If you're going, this year we had it in San Juan and it was our first one. We had a small little intimate one. Next year, 2024, we have it in Amsterdam. 2025, we have it in, oh, not allowed to say it yet. So make sure that you're signing up for those. If you're not signing up for those and you're not obsessed with traffic and conversion, become obsessed. I want you to know every single week what your traffic was for that particular week to your website. And then I want you to know every single week what your conversions were. How many people signed up for your email list? How many people requested a proposal? How many people clicked and read through a certain article or a blog? Which of your articles or blogs is the most popular? Is that the one that's featured on the homepage? If not, move it there. Become obsessed with numbers. There's a whole bunch of folk out there obsessed with social media numbers. How many followers do I have? How many likes did I get? No, you're channeling all kinds of focus and energy into the wrong numbers. Become obsessed with driving traffic to your website. If you're not getting the traffic, ask yourself, well, what did I do? Why do I expect that I should have traffic? Just because I put a website out there? That's not the way websites work. What can I do to drive more traffic to my website? We have 2 good solutions at Travel Marketing and Media. Number 1, if you have a traffic problem on this podcast, start at the beginning, episode number 2, at least episode number 2, and then listen to every single episode all the way through, because we give you free gold in here, things that you can implement immediately, right? And the podcast costs nothing. Number 2, consider signing up for Travel Marketing Revolution. That is our signature course. It's the traffic gold in our company. It's our number 1 selling traffic solution for travel agents, advisors, and agency owners. You can sign up at any time. Number 2, if you have a conversion problem, then you'll know that, because it means you're getting traffic, little bit, middle bit, big bit of traffic, but it's not turning into email subscribers. It's not turning into bookings. Well, then I want you to look at Website in a Weekend. And I probably also want you to look at Travel Marketing Revolution as well. Okay. So if you have any questions about traffic and conversion, email them in. We'll answer them on the podcast, and we'll be doing some more Q&A episodes coming up soon. Go over and have a look. Go to travelmarketingandmedia.com. Have a look at Website in a Weekend. Or if you don't want to do Website in a Weekend and you just want to invest in us doing it for you, where you don't lift a finger, check that out too. So go to travelmarketingandmedia.com/website. And if you have a traffic problem, go to travelmarketingrevolution.com and figure it out today. I want you to go right now over to our Facebook group. We're going to have this conversation about traffic and conversion over there. You can go to the show notes for this podcast. All of our podcast episodes are at travelmarketingandmedia.com/podcast. Click on the episode. You'll see the notes come up. Follow the prompts across to our Facebook group. And let's talk about traffic and conversion. I want to know, do you have a traffic problem? Do you have a conversion problem? Or do you have both? That's all for me now. I'll see you in the next episode. If this podcast episode resonated with you and you'd like to hear more, head over to travelmarketingandmedia.com/podcast to get notified about new episodes and also listen to any that you may have missed. And if you'd like to ask a question about this episode, you can send it there for me to answer on a live Q&A. We'll see you in the next episode.